Grandmaster Rene, many people try to take credit for having pioneered and introduced the Filipino martial arts in Europe. Can you outline a little bit your personal impact on the development of the Filipino martial arts in Europe, especially from the first time you set a foot in Europe until today?
Sure. When I was in the military, serving with the U.S. Air Force, I had an opportunity that presented itself to me because I felt that being overseas that I could introduce the Filipino martial arts to England and to Europe. And while I was still in active military duty, I would visit all these schools. I would contact the schools and ask them if they knew anything about the Filipino martial arts and would they want to see a demonstration and on and on and on, just to promote the Filipino arts. 100% said they maybe had a tinge of understanding of, they heard about it in the US, but there was not one person that really did it and taught in the European community and in England. So when I brought it out, I brought it up, introduced it to a huge jiu-jitsu school, and from there I progressed it to magazines, to karate demonstrations, tournaments, to teaching at different schools throughout England and mainly London. And from there, the art started to get exposure from, I had gotten 3 magazine articles in, various tournaments that I would demonstrate in, and people started to pique their curiosity. And so from there, I was contacted by a German organization, and we started working in partnership to escalate the exposure of the Filipino arts, because it was unique. The weapons were very simple, the movements were very graceful, were very fast, very strong, and so I had gotten more exposure out through Europe. And you know, I'm credited for being the first to introduce it to England and to Europe, publicized, and so I just want to make sure that the legacy still lives on. There are lots and lots and lots of Filipino martial artists now all over Europe, England, all throughout the different countries, and you know, it's almost impossible to take credit for being the first one in Europe, because that was my objective, my job. And when I did it, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just the Filipino arts that were spread. It was the idea that the Philippines, being a Filipino, having the Philippines recognized, not just stereotypically, you know, looked at as that's an island, there's natives there. You know, it's that it's not a country that is civilized. You know, you can break all these stereotypes because you're in Asia. So I wanted to make sure that wasn't happening when the Filipino arts was exposed to Europe. And so I wanted to hold the ground that there is a culture, there is a need for development of the Filipino martial art.